Hey everybody, Steven here, and today I'm looking at the Rubball, which is a vibrating massage ball here. The company reached out to me and they asked me if I wanted to check this out, and I said I did because these have been on the market for a while. They are a little bit pricier. This one's actually $129 and it does ship for free, but I'm going to get more into the details here in a second. But the big thing with this is when you turn it on, and for this you're going to hold down the button here, it's going to pop on, and it has 3 different levels to it. It's going to vibrate while you're doing your soft tissue work. And it has 3 levels, and the highest goes up to 4,200 RPMs, I believe. And then you hold it to turn off. But let's cover the specs with this really quick, because a lot of them are on the box. So usage time, you'll get 2.5 hours out of this. It has a 2600 milliamp battery. It's a 20 watt power supply unit here, I believe, so that would be with this. Or this is 100 to 240 volts, 50 to 60 hertz, 15 volts to 1 amp. So the 28 watts of power would be what this is. And then there's 2 colors. So I have the black one here and would actually come in like a turquoise color. Inside the box though, obviously this has already been in box, you really just get this, the power supply unit here, and then the manual. With this, I want to cover a couple more specs with it. Fully charged for 2 hours before the first use with this. LED light's going to show you the different levels. And average runtime is 2 hours at level 3, the strongest level, and it'll run longer at lower levels. So I'm assuming on the box here when it says 2.5 hours of usage, it's really referring to kind of a middle ground with that. It weighs 2.2 pounds. It's 5 inches in diameter with this. It's rubber on the exterior for the parts that you would actually kind of massage the body, and then plastic on the inside. So with this, really you have to be mindful, it even says this in the manual, of the surface you're going to put this on. If it's a very hard surface, you're probably going to do damage to not only that surface, but this as well. That includes walls. So if you're going to use this on the wall in your house, it's probably not going to work. I have a concrete wall here. I doubt this is going to do any damage to the concrete wall here in the studio, but it's probably going to do damage to this. I have turf in the gym finally, so it's going to be best suited for this. And once I turn this on, we'll actually give this a use real quick. I have used it for a second, and the only problem that I've run into in terms of using it on my glute, my piriformis, is that as I'm rolling on it, I have a tendency to hit that power button and then bump it up a level. I just did it right there. I just turned it off. And now I hit it again. So you do have to be mindful of where this is at. And so now it's actually doing it again, cycling through these different powers. That's the one thing I've run into with this so far, is that you're gonna hit that power button. And that's, I think, mainly because the glute is gonna have more muscle, skin, flesh, all of that on top of it. So you're more likely to actually just have that go inside that little nook where the power button's at and actually hit it. Outside of that, calves, hamstrings, and it actually rolls really nice on all these areas. So not an issue there. But in the manual, it actually showcases some ways to use this. Using it with your hand to just essentially massage areas or roll it on areas. Your foot. So if I'm just sitting here, I'll turn this on, I'll take my shoe off here. That's going to be an easy one. I know for a lot of people, especially if you have plantar fasciitis, that's going to be a nice one. Putting more force on this and really getting into those different areas where, yeah, massage ball or lacrosse ball, alpha ball, whatever you're going to use is nice, but the fact that this vibrates is going to be a little bit better. Great alternative to anybody that does have a massage gun. And I've used a lot of those on the channel here, reviewed a lot, but this is just a different product, right? So we have that. The lower back, and with this, it seems like they're up against a pole with this. Yeah, a padded wall, that's the big thing. So one of the things that they mention is using this if you're at the gym on a mat. If I'm up against the wall, I could line up the mat potentially to use that. Or if you are at a gym where they already have pads up against the wall, that's another area that you could use this. Use it on your quadricep, it's just saying roll it on top of this. and then getting into the hip, and that's the big one I'll be using this with. So they have that. This does come with a 1-year warranty. It says 1 year on here. I'm going to put a link for their website, because on their website, I think it may say it even gives you a 2-year warranty. Now with this, covering some things outside of just the specs here, a big one for me, it's not listed on Amazon, but you can use PayPal with this. That's a huge deal for me because it's just a little bit more secure. I get nervous when it's certain websites where they have a product and you can't pay via PayPal, or Amazon Pay is another good one, just because you could pay for that thing and 6, 8, 12 weeks down the road you don't get it, or you just don't get it at all. And at that point it's very hard to convince the credit card company that you deserve a refund for that. So I do like the fact that it has PayPal. There's free shipping with this, and it usually ships not only that same day, but you'll get it within 2 to 5 days is what it's saying. Now, I'm assuming that's to the US, because when you go to the website you can actually tell them what the currency is, and then that's probably going to change the shipping dates on this in terms of international shipping. So they do have an Instagram account that I will put in the description so you guys can find that. I'm hoping I can get a discount for you guys. I know $130 is a little steep for something like this, but hopefully I can get you guys a discount code. The big thing is I need to spend a little bit more time with this. I do like the massage, especially for my foot. The bigger concern for me is when I'm rolling it on my glute and it shuts off. That's something that I don't know how I might remedy that. And then also looking at, hey, you can't use this on your wall at the house. You're going to have the mat. That's something else you'll have to consider with this, because you don't want to obviously damage your wall. Quick comparison to finish out the video though. Now this is a trigger point ball. This is soft, right? This is very, very low density. Trigger point has their own variation of, I believe, the sphere like this. If it's not, I know they have one that looks like this, has spikes on it. I don't know if it vibrates, but they do have a foam roller that vibrates. And same thing, it gets quite pricey when you add that vibration to whatever the tool is. But just to give you a size comparison here. And then the Alpha Ball, which I use a lot. I'm gonna go down like this. This is really my big go-to for soft tissue. Low density, higher density than this, but it's a good alternative to a lacrosse ball, which is high density. So with this can get into tissues that this is just a little too rough for. And then this is gonna be right there. So lacrosse ball to this. So it is a bigger density, obviously, with that 5-inch diameter. But getting into certain tissue like the glutes, the hamstring, the quad is gonna be nice. Curious to actually test this out a little bit on my quad and my IT band area, just to see if it turns on and off with this. But so far the initial impression is good. This is a more expensive tool. All of these tools have their own purpose, so it really is this going to be the right tool for whatever you need it for? I do like the notion of these vibrating and what that can do for the tissue. I almost want a smaller size for this too, like another variation where it's a little bit smaller, because I think that'd be good, because like I said, this is really my go-to with this. So is this something that you would use? You really have to contemplate that, because to spend the $130, that's a higher price point, and I obviously don't want anybody to have buyer's remorse with this. But utilizing that vibration with any soft tissue work that you're doing, I think, has a huge benefit. This is different than a massage gun. The massage gun, you're using the tool and just digging it in there. This is using your own body weight. In the same manner that I use these tools for my body weight to actually roll that out versus the massage gun, right? I like to clarify to clients, whatever you need, you have to find the right tool for it, which is why we have so many different ones. If I'm just talking about the difference between a lacrosse ball and an alpha ball here, right? High density versus low density, right? This gets into tissue different than this gets into tissue. So this is a greater focal point than this is. This focal point is not as big, it's more broad, right? And then a jump from this being not only something like this trigger point one, but if I get into a foam roller, right? That's covering a larger surface area with that. So looking at how much does it pinpoint the tissue, right? What is the density of that tool? High, low density. And then this is a new aspect of that, which is, does it vibrate, right? What is that vibration doing to the body at a cellular level, right? Trying to essentially shift, move stuff around, right? Anybody that maybe has scar tissue where this can be a benefit, right? A lot of things to consider with that. So I need to spend more time with this. I am going to be doing a review for this as I spend more time with it. But initial impression, outside of the fact that it turns on and off, and I think, like I said, I need to spend more time. Maybe that's just a user error with that, or I'm missing something. I like this. I like the vibration aspect to this and what it may mean for certain movements that I'm using these other ones for, or drills I'm using these things for, and especially getting into potentially the lower back as well. The other cool thing is, if I'm rolling around on this and it doesn't turn on and I can kind of move around using this just as a soft tissue tool. I mean, the vibration is the big draw, but I could still use this in certain areas where I don't want low density, certain size, but I want high density with this, right? I want a harder tool versus something that's soft. So that's going to be it. I want you guys to put any comments, really not necessarily comments, but questions. What do you want me to cover with the review? Something that you really want to know about this. I need to spend, like I said, and I keep saying, more time with this because I really like to test these for a couple weeks before I give my definitive opinion with it. But this has definitely sparked my interest. So in the comment or in the description, I'm going to have a link for their website, their social media. If I can get a discount code, I'll actually put that down there. And then you guys put some comments down there so you can actually help me with the review here in the direction that I want to go with it. So that's going to be it for this video, everybody. If you like the video, hit the like button for me. If you want to continue to follow along with all my content, hit the subscribe button for me. Thanks so much for watching.